have such sights to show you.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Four Dead Losers podcast. We are two of the Four Dead Losers. I'm Ramito.
Jordan.
And today we're going to be talking about The Mist. Ooh, classic. Jordan, this was your pick, not spoiler thought. What'd you think of the movie?
I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. It's not, I was expecting it to have kind of the cliche. I feel like a lot of the horror movies, or movies in general from the 2000s, have a kind of like cliche standard, like, I don't know if I should say like color palette or like just the way it's shot, and I feel like it strayed pretty far from what I was expecting in that sense. Overall, I really liked the way it was shot. It felt, this is a compliment, it felt like a TV show to me the way it was shot. Almost like
the cinematography is like you're watching The Office.
That's what I thought, yeah. Like it was really unique. I can't remember the last time I saw a movie shot like that. Overall, really good. I really enjoyed it. Some of the, we'll get into it, but like the CGI and stuff, I didn't really mind. It's a little campy.
It came out in 2007.
Yeah.
So
I saw people mention that the director prefers the black and white version of it, but so I don't know. I've never seen it. People argue about it. Whatever. Overall, really good. I'm thinking. Oh, I'm struggling with this one. I'm gonna say a 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. Dang, that's pretty good. Non-spoiler thoughts for myself. This movie, I think it's really good, and I feel like it's one of the. I don't have a list of like the must-watch horror movies, but if I did have a list, The Mist would be on that one. I feel like it's really good. It does a lot of what's it called? It goes in some places that American movies nowadays don't really go with, especially like with the ending.
Yeah.
And it's a Stephen King adaptation from a short story of the same name, and it's a pretty dead on adaptation. The only thing, as far as I can remember, other than of course like the way the characters look, the only thing that I can that I know for a fact that they changed was the ending.
It's always the ending.
Yeah, it's the ending. And we'll get into what the differences are later on. But for myself, I'd probably give this movie a 7.5 out of 10. I think it's really good.
Yeah, it reminded me a lot of Invasion of the Body Snatchers, I feel.
So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get into the spoiler section of the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, do all the algorithm stuff. We really appreciate it and help us out. But until then, this is going to be your spoiler warning in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bam! The Mist. So the movie basically starts, we meet our main character. His name is David, and he's an artist. I think he paints movie posters, right? And so one of them that he's working on is like a cowboy or something like that, but one of the ones that's in the background is The Thing.
Okay, I knew it was so familiar, but I couldn't figure out what it was.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that this is a nod to John Carpenter, because I think his movie is The Fog, and like there's similar concepts, but not like, you know, the exact same thing. But basically what happens is that the power goes out, and then there's a thunderstorm. We wake up the next morning, and he's assessing the damage of the property with his wife and his son, Billy, because you know, it's Stephen King adaptation. There has to be a Bill or Billy somewhere. I don't think they mention it in the movie, but if you read the short story, it takes place in Maine. So that's the other,
of course,
the other tick. So then, while they're assessing damage, they go out to like their boathouse, right? Because they have a house on the lake.
What used to be a house on the lake?
Yeah. There's a bunch of trees that had fallen over into their windows. Their lake house was completely demolished by a fallen tree from their neighbor Norton, and we'll get introduced to him in a little bit. But while they're looking at the lake house, they look out into the distance over the lake, right? And you can see the mist starting to roll through.
From the hills.
From the hills, yeah. After they notice that, they go to Norton, right, which is the neighbor. And it's basically like, hey, your tree that I told you to cut down, your dead tree fell on my boathouse. Let's exchange, what is it, insurance information or something like that. And turns out that Norton himself also had some property damage, like a classic car got demolished by a fallen tree or something. So he doesn't have a vehicle, so Norton asks David if he's going to town to get supplies, so that way he can just hitch a ride with them and they can go.
Do they mention... So, we get the vibe that, like, they're kind of beefing or whatever. Do they mention the lawsuit here, or does it just come up later? Okay, I couldn't remember. When it gets brought back up, I thought, like, I can't remember if they dropped the lore about that or not.
Yeah, the wife, I think, before David walks over, she says, like, hey, isn't one lawsuit enough? And then David says something like, no, we're just exchanging insurance information. Norton is a lawyer, and a lot of the people in the town see him as, like, an outsider.
Yeah, I can read the vibe if, like... Well, he works in New York, so I don't know if this is like his main home or just like a lake house that he visits. I don't know.
I think it's a lake house.
Like a second property.
Yeah. And so they go to town. While they're going to town, I'm 90% sure there's an Easter egg when they're doing the radio station that they turn it to, I think is one that Stephen King actually owns in like real life. But as they're going into town, going in the opposite direction, we see a bunch of military convoys and personnel going
fast.
Yeah, they're going really fast.
All leaving the town.
Mm-hmm. Leaving the town, going, I presume, towards the mist.
Yeah.
So then they finally get to town, where they go into basically a grocery store kind of thing. They mention here when they're walking in that first off, the store is packed, right? It's a bunch of people.
Yeah.
And they mentioned that their power went out, so none of the cash registers work, so they have to count everything by hand. And they have a backup generator, and it's only meant to keep the refrigerators on.
No cell service, everything's down.
No, nothing. They also see that the EMS is also driving and rushing.
I'm pretty sure there's like a fire truck too or something once they're actually inside the store.
Mm-hmm. And another thing that they focus in on with their office cinematography is 3 army men that walk into the door who become important as we get into the story. So there's just this kind of conversation that happens with David and a couple other of the townspeople, so that way we get an introduction to who they are and that kind of stuff. There's a military police officer who they zoom in on, and he walks in and he talks to the 3 other military personnel and says basically that they have to go back to the station.
Yeah, we get the vibe that they're not, I don't want to say fleeing, but the main guy out of the 3 when they walk in is okay, we have 30 minutes, we have to get out of here. So I don't know what their original plan was.
I thought they were just being discharged.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? But
and then the officer comes back and is now you gotta get out of here.
Yeah, pretty much. So then, not too long after that, there's a siren that starts to go off. So you can think of a tornado siren or whatever if you're in the Midwest. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, those don't exist over here.
So it's one of those that's going off, and then we see basically the mist. No, not the mist yet. We see Dan running towards the store, and he has a bloody nose, right? And he runs into the store, and everybody's sponge guard looking at him as he comes in. And he says that there's something in the mist. He keeps yelling that there's something in the mist, that it took somebody. And then that's when we start to see the mist rolling in. It's this thick white cloud, pretty much.
Yeah, it moves very quickly.
Yeah, it really does. There's a guy who's in the store. I think he books it out of the store, and he gets swallowed by the mist. And there's a scream, pretty much as soon as he gets swallowed.
Yeah.
So that guy's a goner. The mist reaches the front of the store, and the entire wall, the entire front of the store is just glass windows, which will be important later.
Not high quality, apparently.
Yeah. So Miss Carmody, who will be a lovely character that we get to know later on, basically, there's a line here that she drops where she says that the mist, that it's death.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's an earthquake.
There is an earthquake.
This earthquake basically occurs, everybody drops to the ground, that kind of stuff to get low to the ground, so that way you get, there's less of a chance of getting injured. And everybody is basically instructed to stay in the store, and they're okay, we're just gonna stay here. There's this one lady who basically says that she can't, that she has kids at home. She has 2 kids, and one of them, who's 8 years old, is watching the other one, who I believe is like 5.
Yeah.
And so she has to get home to get to her kids, and then so she asks anybody else if they'd be willing to escort her or help her to her house, and nobody says anything, and she walks out of the door, basically like, well, fine, I have to go one way or another, so I'm gonna leave.
She says something on the way out. I don't remember. Like, I hope y'all all rot in hell or something.
Something like that, yeah. So then Billy, who's David's son, he starts crying, and David takes him off to go comfort him. There's then a conversation between some of the characters that we met earlier. So it's Amanda, who I believe is a teacher, David, our main character, Billy's present, and Mrs. Ripper, I think, Reppier.
Is she the older lady?
She's the older lady, yeah. And then, so they're just kind of talking about what's going on. Ollie, who's the assistant manager, comes in to check on them, and David asks Ollie if they have any blankets or something like that, and Ollie says that they have, I think it's furniture mats or something that are in the back to help, protect furniture as you're transporting it. So then Ollie and David go to the back to go look for it. While there, David finds the generator and sees that it's smoking, so he turns it off, right? Because it's in a confined space. Having smoke is a very bad idea.
Hits his head for some reason.
Yes, because all the lights are off.
Yeah.
So he falls over, and then he sees like the door that they use to bring products in and out. That starts to
It's
move.
like getting banged off very hard.
Yeah. So he gets freaked out, which is like understandable, right? We have no idea what the heck is out there, and it's something that's strong enough to make the entire door basically rattle or whatever. So then he starts going back into the store to go talk to Ollie or whatever. And then while I think we missed while he's going to the back. But there's Norton, and he's talking to a group of people, and this is where he starts to plant the seeds about them leaving because they just can't be trapped, right? Like he wants to go find help or something. So then we cut to Carmody, and she's talking to Norton, and she basically tells the group that they brought the end of the world upon themselves because they're living in sin. Oh, this lady, she must be really fun at parties.
She's wild. I can't lie. We'll get to it later on. I was getting a little scared on the messaging of the movie.
Yeah.
I thought, bro, where's her karma at? I'm waiting for her karma, please.
Karma? That's funny. Once David gets the whole garage door moving, he comes back inside, and he's stopped by Ollie and a group of other people. One of them, his name is Jim, and the other guy's name is Norton. And they have a third guy who's not really important. So he basically tells them, hey, there's something going on back there. We need to figure something out. And so they're like, it's fine. We need to get the generators kicked back on. So they're like, okay, fine. So they go to the back, kick the generator back on, see that it's smoking, and they realize that the exhaust for the generator, which is some grate up on the wall or whatever, was blocked. So it wasn't venting out. So then Norm,
the kid, he's a teenager.
Like a teenager, yeah. Jim and Norm come up with the idea that they'll turn on the generator long enough to open the door, and then Norm will go outside, unclog the vent, and then come back inside. And so David is like, no, that's a really bad idea.
Literally begging them not to do it. Basically.
Yeah, he is. And I think he mentioned something about there's something out there, and Jim is like, well, did you see it? And he's like, no. And he goes then you're fucking complaining for nothing. I don't know why you're crying about it. And he does his best to stop them, but they do it anyways. They turn on the generator, and they open the door just slightly, probably 6 inches or something, and you can see the mist, and it kind of stopped right at the door opening.
Yeah, there's a boundary. I do want to say, just before we get to what we're about to get to, I asked Amanda when the movie started, just because I've never seen it, and I didn't really know a lot about it going in, but my first question was bro, why are they running from this? I don't understand. Did it possess them or what? So I was not ready for what was about to happen.
So they're all just okay, go do it. And so the Norm basically gets closer to the door, and then this tentacle comes in, right, and like grabs Norm, and then there's this whole scene where they're all freaking out, and it has like, think of like an octopus that has the suction cups, but each has like a row of its own teeth or something like that. And I think there's one that gets on his bare chest, and when it comes off, you can see that there's like a ring of bite marks or something.
Yeah.
And so everybody's freaking out. They're trying to get this thing off. It's not working. Ollie breaks open basically where they keep the fire axe. So he gets that. And then more tentacles start to come in. And then the whatever it is starts to pull Norm.
They're doing like tug of war with him.
Yeah, they are. Starts to pull Norm into the mist. And then I think it's so funny that Ollie gets ready to strike with the axe. But he misses just in time to like not decapitate Norm.
Yeah.
Like as he's being pulled.
I thought he was gonna like chop his leg off or something. Like I was thinking, what is this guy about to do? But yeah, the axe like strikes after he gets pulled.
Yeah, so he just hits the concrete. And then everybody freaks out. I think they cut off one of the tentacles and then they close the door up, right? And so the four of them are like, yeah, we're not going out into the mist. What the fuck is that? So then they go back inside. And they're basically having like a happies and crappies conversation about what they just witnessed, and they're all really serious about not telling the crowd yet because they don't want people to get freaked out. But David wants to loop in Norton into the conversation, right? So that way he can like basically know what's what. And so Norton just doesn't believe them.
No,
right?
not at all.
Yeah, and they're like, no, we have proof. We cut off the tip of this tentacle in the back. We can go show you. And he's like, what does he say? He goes, no, I'm not gonna go back there and see some rubber snakes that y'all put down there just to.
He's like offended that they thought he would fall for it or whatever.
Yeah. And then this is where we drop the lore about the other lawsuit.
He starts talking about the lawsuit and like, I know you talk like shit behind my back. Basically, it gets very, very heated. They're about to like kill each other.
There's even like David like grabs Norton by the shirt, right, to take him to the back so that way he can see for himself, and then Norton's like fights him off. He's like, I'm gonna sue you.
He's like points to the grocery manager, like, you saw him, he just assaulted me.
So then that's pretty much what's going on right now. We're starting to see divides.
Yeah, the whole crowd shows up, and I don't remember the main guy's name. I keep forgetting it.
David?
Yeah. David essentially tells everybody like what they witnessed.
Yeah.
So, of course nobody believes it or whatever. So
we have some people who don't believe it.
A group of like 3 extra guys go back there with them.
Oh, you're right. And they poke the tentacle with the stick.
I was so sure it was gonna be gone.
Oh yeah.
Like I was so sure it was gonna be like, oh yeah, these people are going crazy. Like the tentacle's not there. Originally when they cut it off, I thought it was gonna regrow. But yeah, fair. Then they poke it and then it dies for good. It
melts, right? Yeah. Like it turns into black ichor, and I think it starts to eat the concrete or something.
Yeah, because there's I think the guy who pokes it, or I feel like people believe it when that really tall guy, he looks like a biker, like he's.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
With like he has like the stash and the
he one comes back out. The shotgun lady.
Yeah, it's like we have a problem.
We also get while this is going on, it kind of cuts a little bit. We get a cut of Miss Carmody, and she's praying in the restroom, basically like talking to God, right? And Amanda walks in on her, and she's like, "Hey, I just got to use the restroom." But what is she like? Fucking. You're living in sin and you're gonna go to hell, that kind of fucking shit.
Okay, she's like, right, because you can tell that the lady who was praying gets up really quick and Amanda's like, hey, if you ever need anybody to talk to or whatever.
Yes.
And Homegirl gets so offended by it.
I only talk to God.
Yeah, I do have friends from up above.
I only talk to a higher power.
So when that came on.
And like, that kind of, like people who actually have that kind of mentality, like kind of freak me out. Like, what the freak?
I was getting a little scared by her.
Carmody.
Yeah.
So let's see. So then Norton then gives another speech about how everything is a lie and they're trying to like keep them contained and all these other things. And then Carmody chimes in with a bunch more doomsday stuff. we cut to them starting to prep the store for the nighttime. So they're starting to like get the bags of dog food and put it against the windows. That way it limits, like, I guess, the creatures from the mist being able to see in. Carmody basically says a bunch of stuff about preparing to meet your maker. And then people are making fun of her while she's doing that.
Yeah, she's reading like straight verses from the Bible.
Yeah. She also says from the book of Revelations, which is not a book, it's Revelation. They only have one revelation, not multiple. Anyways, she starts spewing other shit, saying that the good book calls for blood, and then like that they're gonna have to start sacrificing people or something like that. And then Amanda walks up and slaps her, and she starts to bleed from the mouth a little bit, and she like touches the blood, and she shows everybody. She's like, "Look, another down payment for our salvation."
Before this, when she's spewing all this crap, I think when she mentions Revelation or whatever, is his name Jim?
Yes.
He like is trying to get through the crowd and basically threatens to like kick her face in. So then after Amanda slaps her, he's like, "Oh, so you can hit her, but I can't."
He does it.
Good comedic relief.
Oh man. So then David, after that, David goes up to, while that's going on, Billy goes to the side and he sees that the three soldiers that are like talking by themselves off into the side, or often like in the freezer section in the back of the store.
Yeah, this whole time Billy's being like basically watched by different people because his dad is like leading.
Yeah, basically leading the pack. Yeah. And so Billy goes up to the soldiers and basically asking like, "Hey, why can't you call the army?" And this is where they tell him like their radios are down or something like that, so they can't call for help. And then the people in the store are like, "Hey, why aren't y'all helping everybody prep the store for the nighttime or whatever?"
I know they're just sitting there.
Yeah. I was like, what the heck? David then has a conversation with Billy, and he's comforting him because Billy's asking about their mom, because their mom stayed at the house, right? That has the trees that have broken, so that way the mist can get into the house, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I guess it makes sense. They didn't expect anything to happen. I was going to say, I don't know why the mom stayed behind, but
yeah,
it makes sense.
I think she was staying behind so that way she can clean up the glass or something like that. Everybody's prepping the store, all that kind of stuff. We have a conversation with David, Amanda, and Ollie, and I think the store manager, where they're basically asking like, "Hey, do we have protection or something like that?" And then Amanda says, "Hey, I have this freaking firearm in my purse. I don't know how to use it, but I have it." And then we find out the lore that Ollie is like low-key a badass, that he was a state champion marksman or something like that.
Which, I guess it was that. He says like 1990 something, but I guess when this movie's taking place, I guess it wasn't that long ago.
This guy looks like a nerd. Like
he does. I questioned him, I can't lie.
He plays one of the villain scientists in Captain America.
For real?
Yeah. And so then there's a commotion, and we find out that Norton's little group is starting to like, "Hey, we're just going to cut our losses and leave the store." He makes a comment here that the quote-unquote witnesses that saw the tentacle basically got his group to split in half, so he has less people than he did before. And David says, "Hey, like, I'm not going to try to stop you from leaving, but if you do, can you just like take this rope with you?" And Norton is like, "Well, why?" And so he's like, "It's 300 feet of rope. If we run out of rope, then we know you made it 300 feet and we're safe to get to our cars," or something like that. Because I think in that conversation that they had about the firearm, David says like, "Hey, if we can get to my car, we can dip," right? Something like that.
Right, and somebody else also has like a shotgun in the truck.
Somebody else mentioned that they had a shotgun in the trunk. That's like midway into the parking lot, so that way if they make it to 300 feet, then they know they can also get that firearm as well. And the biker guy that Jordan was talking about earlier basically offers, right? Because Norton
doesn't want to be helpful in any way.
Right. So the other guy is like, "Okay, you know what, I'll go ahead and do it." So then they all leave, and we see them leave into the mist. They have the rope, and it's like, starts off as loose, right? They're kind of feeding it as the biker guy is going and going and going, until eventually they kind of run out of rope. I think Ollie is at the end of it, and they run out of rope, and it's still loose, so it hasn't like gotten tightened or anything. And then all of a sudden, it starts to like.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it like loosens completely almost, and before it gets tugged really hard.
I think you're right. Yeah, it gets.
Because then also gets like we follow the whole path. It like starts getting tugged up.
Yeah,
also.
to the top of the doorway. Yeah, and then like they get rope burn or whatever, so they have to get cloth to keep them from, bleeding on their hands. And everybody's freaking out. They start to reel the rope back in, and then it gets like super bloody. And then at the edge of the mist, we can see that it's only half of the torso.
How did that stay around his waist? What did he tie it around?
No idea.
So I can't remember. I don't think we see them again, unless this was part of the pharmacy scene later. But do we just assume that everybody that went got ended at this point?
I think so. I can't remember.
Like, I don't think we see Norton again.
I can't remember if at the very, 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 very end if Norton is on the things or not.
I don't think so. I don't think he gets redemption.
But yeah, I guess we don't see them ever again.
Either way, people freak out again. Because just legs came back.
Yeah, just half a torso came back. Which is crazy. So then they're like, all right, cool. You know what? We're just going to bunker down here. More reason to bunker down. So they start prepping for the night. I think in the conversation they have with trying to convince Norton, David says that one of the guys is going to barbecue chicken, so they have food. I mean, they're in a grocery store, so they have food. And they start turning on the lights, all that kind of stuff. There's this weird... I think it's unnecessary, but they have like this romance scene between Sally and one of the army guys. I understand why they do it, because in the short story, if you read it, it's Amanda and David that have that.
Damn, I wanted that so bad.
Like in the book, I'm pretty sure they sneak into the manager's office and they do it like while all of this shit is going on.
Why is it always Stephen King? Yeah, and when the military guy first walks in, we get like a little look that he shares with the cashier. So
with Sally, I think his name is Jensen. Now that I think about it,
which I guess a little character development to get us to care about her more. Right?
Yeah. And so they're all Ollie and this other guy are basically like, it's Ollie and Dan, the guy who ran in with the bloody nose earlier. They're looking through like little holes that they have, little windows that they made out of the dog food bags into the parking lot, and then we see this bug.
I'm pretty sure he's like getting ready to eat. Like he puts his food down.
Yeah. Because
they have like little, little windows essentially.
And then we see like this bug thing, right? Like hits the window, and this thing looks gross.
This bug thing,
it's
like huge.
And it hits the window, and then like a bunch more start to come out, and they're all gathered around the window, and people turn on their flashlights.
Yeah,
and start pointing them at the window.
That'd be pretty stupid. I feel like I caught on very quickly what would happen.
Yeah. Oh man.
They're all like flashing their lights, and I'm thinking, bro, what are we doing?
And then while they're all fascinated by these bugs, this freaking four-winged pterodactyl thing comes and grabs one of the bugs and then takes off, and they all freak out, and then more of those come in until they start breaking the glass, and then they get into the store, and then all chaos everything goes haywire. The bugs, one of them gets onto Sally, stings her in the neck. We see her demise as the scene continues on. So basically what happens with her is she starts to swell up at the throat as if she's having an allergic reaction, which I think is very plausible, right? If your body isn't used to this other dimensional thing.
It was pretty gross, I can't lie.
Yeah.
Swell as in like, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, it gets pretty gnarly. And the army guy is holding her the entire time, right, while she's dying. David is trying his best to light a mop that they drenched in lighter fluid.
I'm pretty sure Amanda at one point tries to light it also. Like they're all kind of
takes
scrambling.
Like 3 people to do it, yeah. Until finally he gets it lit and then starts to swing it around or whatever. We have another guy. I can't remember his name, but he tries to light the mop on a different mop on fire, but somehow trips and falls into the lighter fluid.
He gets it lit, and then he trips and falls.
And then he catches on fire, and he's running through the store.
Catching everything else on fire.
That's crazy. crazy. All while these freaking bugs are getting in, the people are starting to kill them with brooms and whatever.
David gets like a pterodactyl on fire, and then that's like lighting everything. Yeah.
Yes, because it starts flying around.
This whole time, Ollie has a gun. This is when I was doubting him a little bit, because man would just not take the shot. I'm pretty sure he was trying to spare people or whatever.
Yeah.
But he's like chasing one of them through the whole store.
There's one that he's chasing that he has his eyes locked on, and is starting to like. It's not flying. It's like walking, I think, towards Billy. And David picks Billy up and they hide in the aisle, and then Ollie takes the shot. Eventually, they get everything under control. They get all the bugs, dead or whatever, and the excitement starts to die down. They turn off the lights to, hopefully that doesn't happen again. And yeah, that's pretty much that scene.
Yeah. And then they what? Don't they patch up?
Oh, you know what? I forgot that there's one that lands on Carmody.
It does. This was interesting.
Yeah, it lands on her, and I think she like prays or something like that because it's on her chest.
Like,
and they're like
submitting to it. Yeah.
Yeah, and then she like starts praying or something, and then it like gets up and then it flies away, which is crazy.
This is what interested. Yeah, I was a little worried about the messaging at this point. I still don't necessarily understand the reasoning.
Mm-hmm.
Like, was that giving some credibility to what she was saying? I don't know why they did that.
You'll love what I have to say about the ending then.
Okay. Yeah, that part was very like, I thought, bro, in a way this is a religious movie.
It's not. I think at its core, it's not. I think at its core, it's basically like Lord of the Flies, like what people will devolve into.
We see what they devolve into as
when
homegirl gets more power.
Yeah, exactly.
We do also get well, I guess this is more of like a side character thing. I don't know how important it is, but the lady that's watching over Billy when the monster almost gets him, shares a look with David after David basically like pulls him out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
There's a very quick like awkward stare.
Yeah. Is she the one that Amanda finds that OD'd?
Yeah.
Yeah. So people are starting to like, not be in the greatest mindset.
The hope is leaving.
Yeah, exactly.
Is this still day one? I think this is the first night.
Yeah, it's the first night. And then Carmody, we see that people are starting to believe her more and more. That kind of stuff, because she's like, end of days, XYZ.
She talks about like the locusts or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
She ties it all to biblical stuff.
Which is,
See, I told you somebody was going to die.
Exactly. I think that's exactly what she says. And then, let's see. So then, after that, David then goes to talk to the guy who they set on fire. His body is completely burned, right? And they have him, like, I think on like a towel or something so they can move him around. And the guy who was on fire is begging for them to, like, end the suffering. And they're like, no, we're going to go next door to the pharmacy and get you meds.
Yeah, because the brother's there. And
the brother is there, you're right.
Yeah, they should have let him go.
He's asking for it. Like he's begging for it. So after that conversation, they move the guy to a pile of dog food to where he's more elevated, so that way it's easier to tend to him. And they have a conversation about going next door to the pharmacy. So when I say they have a conversation, it's David, Ollie, Rippinder, the older lady, Amanda, like our main cast, pretty much.
Jim, I think Jim was part of them. Like this was the crew, the main cast, the crew that's been sticking together since the beginning, basically.
Yeah. About going to the pharmacy next door so that way they can get more supplies, right? Like people who need certain medications, any antibiotics instead in case somebody gets an infection or whatever, because they don't know how long they're going to be there. And I think the other thing too is that like if there are any survivors in the pharmacy, then they can bring them over to the grocery store so that way they know that they're safe and with everybody else as well. More of like a community building kind of thing. Safety in numbers. And so then this is where David says that he has the car and they can take it.
Oh, I see.
This is where he mentions it, and Amanda is pushing back, and she says like they don't know how far the mist has spread, like if it's 10 miles or the entire East Coast, and he's like, well, I mean, we have to try it, right? Like, anything's better than staying in here with Carmody because she's gaining more power as the hours go by.
She is, which they mentioned early on, like, today it's 4 people, tomorrow it's just going to multiply. So.
Right. And then they ask Ollie how many bullets he has left, and he has 10 left. So that way, 10 to, I don't know how, well, we'll find out exactly
like
how
10.
useful.
Yeah. Oh, well, I guess he didn't have all 10 with him.
Yeah. We'll find out exactly how useful 10 bullets are as we go on the story. So then Billy doesn't want David to go to the pharmacy, right? That's his dad. He doesn't know what's out there, all that kind of stuff. He's begging David not to go. And Amanda's even saying, like, hey, bro, like, if you go, that's cool. But the moment things go south, you have to leave. Like, even if it means leaving the other people, you have to get out of there so that way you can come see your son.
Because it's just like the dudes that go, I'm pretty sure. It's all the...
And the older lady, too.
Oh, she does go.
Yeah.
She does go.
I think with her, she knows, like, what medications to look for.
Yeah, she also is just... she's risking it all. She's savage, bro.
She is savage. Because she, later on in the movie, she's the one that throws the can at
She does. She's like talking
head.
shit to people, yeah.
So then, actually, it's right now, because it's the next day, and they're about to leave, and Carmody's basically like, no, you can't go! And there's a whole thing about they're going to bring the evil back with them, and this is where the older lady throws a can at her head.
Yeah, because she's now telling her followers, like, see, look, it's their fault that we're going through this, basically. Yeah, I wasn't ready for her to throw the can.
So then they go into the mist. They're walking single file. They're all armed with a knife of some sort, or a stick with a knife at the end.
Very, very useful.
Yeah. So they get into the pharmacy and the doors are wide open, and while the doors are wide open, it's gonna happen. And they alluded to this too when they first arrive at the store into town. Like, we get a quick shot of the pharmacy and the door has a stopper on it.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, to keep it open. So when the mist got there, it's already too late.
Yeah.
And so the entire store is in the mist. They start to grab different medications.
Pretty peacefully so far.
Yeah, one of the ones that they have just on the shelf is just Oxycontin, which I thought was insane.
What is that?
It's an opioid.
Okay, because he refers to it, and I'm pretty sure he just puts it in the bag.
Yeah, they just grab it off the shelf. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be in a safe. I'm not going to tell you what company I used to work for, but I used to be a pharmacy tech, so I know that it's locked into a safe, and you're not allowed to get to it.
Hey. Speaking from experience, because of my mother, I feel like 2007 was prior to, like...
It could be.
really them locking down on realizing how terrible they can be if misused.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, man. It's also a small town, so I feel like they don't even check prescription.
Hey, can I get some Oxy? Yeah, sure.
Right.
So then... things basically start going south, right? Like, when they're trying to leave the store, that's when they find all these, like, spider web-like things all over the place.
They start hearing stuff,
Yeah, they start hearing stuff, and it's very much like the movie Alien, where the xenomorphs, when they take the people and, like, put them against the wall and impregnate them with the face huggers. It's the same concept here, except instead of everything being black webs, everything is white webs, and instead of it being, xenomorphs, they're spiders.
I respect how many different, like, we get the tentacles, we get the flying things, we get the pterodactyls.
We get to see what the tentacles are attached to as well.
We do, like... I'm kind of impressed with how many different creatures they pulled out. Because the spiders, again, is like a new thing we've never seen. Mm-hmm. I feel like the more we see, the more we're like, what the fuck is going on?
What the fuck is that?
Again, like a spider, but like a spider.
Yeah, but like an alien demon spider.
Yeah.
So then things start going south, right? The spiders come out, they like shoot their webs.
Like the webs are extremely hot or something, or like they're... I couldn't tell if it was like an acid reaction or like a...
I think it's an acid reaction.
They like burn on impact.
Yeah, they like dissolve whatever they touch, right? So one of the guys gets his leg wrapped in the web.
I thought it was going to cut off his whole leg.
I think it cuts off his pant leg, right?
Yeah.
Or something.
CGI. Hey. The webs were cooking.
Literally. One of the guys, the burned dude's brother, he gets webbed in the face, I think, or something.
Yeah.
Or something else happens. He gets webbed as well. Somebody else gets webbed in the face. And so their face starts dissolving.
They lose a couple of them.
Yeah, they really do. Ollie shoots off a couple shots, so we lose some bullets here. And then they all book it.
Don't we see the...
You're right. The military police officer.
I think that's when we realize people are in webs, because he like reaches his arm out and grabs somebody.
To grab Jim. And you're right. That's actually really important. I'm sorry I forgot it. But yes, because before the eggs come out of his face, he says that he's sorry that it's all their fault. That it's Project the Arrowhead Project.
Yeah, which gets alluded to earlier, and like UFOs, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
all the conspiracies.
And we get more lore
because then
in a little bit.
Yeah, when they're leaving, they do still have the guy, the brother. They're like dragging him, and homeboy from the military tries to like walk out of the cocoon or whatever you want to call it, the web, and he like falls into shatters into a million baby spiders.
Yeah.
Who then crawl on the guy who like had his face burned.
And they eat him.
Yeah. And then they're chasing the rest. And I'm pretty sure the brother just loses a pulse or something, because they tell David like, we're just gonna have to leave him behind.
Yeah.
Because they're still trying to fight. Like Ollie's shooting a couple of them, and then there's a really big one
at the very end.
At the very end,
it's like the boss battle. And so I think Dan just gets a spear, right? And just
because Ollie goes to shoot it and he doesn't have any bullets left in the chamber.
So then they successfully leave the pharmacy and get back into the grocery store.
This is when like Jim runs in the store and starts like, I don't forget what he's yelling, but essentially he's like flipping the F out. Like this is his breaking point. He becomes one of the crazies.
He does. And Carmody's getting more followers as things just go on. When they get to the farm, they get back to the grocery store. They're informed that the guy who was burned, he passed while they were at the pharmacy.
They went for no reason.
And so they're like, okay. So then our main cast basically gets a plan together, right? They're going to gather supplies. Ollie says that they can hide them out over at the checkout lane, and then come dawn, they can all leave in David's car.
Because at this point they're like super outnumbered by what's her name, Carmody? She basically over half the people there are like listening. Yeah, are listening to her.
When they go to the checkout lane, this is where we find the soldier, and he's hiding there. And David asks him, like, hey, where are the other two soldiers? And he says that he doesn't know.
Oh, because they're looking... Oh, you're right. This is at the checkout lane. Yes.
He says that he tried to find them, but they couldn't... Like, he doesn't know where they're at, and the only place that they haven't looked is in the back of the store. So then David, the soldier, and I think Ollie go to the back of the store, and this is where we find the two of them hanging from the ceiling. You can basically put two and two together about what happened. And then they leave the back of the store, and then they're cornered, because I think Jim watches them go into the
Jim
back.
overheard him, because they're pressing the military guy about what the military officer had said to him. And I think the military guy kind of starts to... I don't know, it's like the beginning of that conversation, and Jim overhears it and like pulls the military guy out and like, see, it was Project Arrowhead or whatever.
Yeah. And so this is where things start to like really go off the rails as far as like the people go. So we're not even... So like, one of the main points I think about this movie is like, yeah, sure, there's fear in the unknown, and and there's monsters outside, but like the true monsters are the people within, right? Like the people that are inside.
Constantly up to this point, it's been, people fighting themselves essentially.
Yeah, exactly. So this is where we start to get Carmody rallying her troops, basically blaming the soldier. Specifically, they're like, it's your fault. And he's like, no, it's not me. It was the scientists. They're the ones who were testing different technologies to open parallel portals to parallel universes. And one of them just stayed open. And that's where the mist came from and all these other things. And so she's like, oh, So science, huh? Where we are doing God's work, splitting atoms and curing disease and all these other
He even
things.
mentions like an abortion.
Yeah,
That's why I'm
like,
okay, we're
like, what the fuck are you talking about?
we're critiquing this lady for being crazy. I get it now. Because yeah, it's like essentially mob mentality.
Mhm.
It's because even the guy's going through it emotionally. The military guy, I keep forgetting his name.
I'm pretty sure it's Jemison, but I don't remember.
He's
for
going
sure.
through it, and he's like basically pleading. Like,
Yeah, he's
oh, it was a
begging.
scientist. It wasn't me.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
No, it doesn't, because they pull him into the crowd and he gets.
And David's like trying to get to him, and I'm pretty sure his own crew's like, I guess, holding him back because they know that.
I think Jim socks him in the face.
He
And
does.
that's like because he gets stunned or whatever, and that's what lets his quote unquote crew pull him and
Yeah.
pull him away. But yeah, they start stabbing the soldier, and they basically. Carmody says, "Feed him to the beast."
I feel like she has a moment when he gets stabbed.
Yeah.
She like kind of breaks out of it and is like,
Yeah.
"Holy fuck! Like this is real." And then she wings it and goes to like
Feed him with the beast.
sacrifice him. Yeah.
Yeah. And so they basically pick him up, and he's begging for his life.
This is a cool camera shot. We get like the top down of him.
Of him. And they throw him outside, and he's begging to let back in. He has his blood. He has his hand on the wound, so his hand has blood on it, and we see his print on the window of the door. And then from the back, we can see the monster. Right.
Was this a really big one with the tentacles?
This
Or
was
no?
a different one, I
Okay.
think. But
Gets snatched away, and
Yeah.
then I'm pretty sure Carmody hits like the "Tonight will be safe." or
yes,
something.
yeah, she does. And then it fades to black.
Yeah.
Oh man, good times. So then it's nighttime.
This is the point when we've realized, like, okay, this lady has all the power. Like,
Yeah.
these people are willing to do anything.
Yeah, they really are. To listen to this crazy ass lady. So it's nighttime, and then Billy basically makes David promise that the monsters won't get him. That David won't let the monsters get him, which is kind of, sort of, not really foreshadowing. Yeah, we get into it. So then David is woken up by Amanda, and because it's dawn, right? So their plan is coming to fruition, where they were going to take their supplies and leave. They go to the checkout lane, where they find that their supplies are missing.
I'm pretty sure, I don't know if this was prior to this, or does this happen after, when David is kind of like hesitant on leaving? Is that after this?
It might have been.
He kind of like backs out, and they're the ones who have to push him. But it might be after this interaction. I can't remember.
I'm pretty sure you're right. I'm pretty sure it's in this moment where he's like, no, I like,
Right.
like, what's the point, right? Where he feels defeat.
Yeah.
And they go to get the supplies. The supplies aren't there.
They're all gone.
Yeah, and Carmondy's like waiting for them, right?
I'm
So
pretty sure
her
she's, like, sitting
smug-ass
on them.
smile.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's just like, ooh, I knew you were
And
coming.
then it turns out everybody was awake.
Yeah,
Everybody like starts
It's like,
crowding
what
around.
the fuck? And as she starts dropping more, she won't let them leave. She specifically says that she won't allow it. And she starts dropping more doomsday talk here too, right? And one of the things that sticks with my mind that I just love the way she delivers the line, is she tells David, she's like, haven't I shown you that I am his vassal? And
Yes.
she's like talking about God or whatever. I was
Yeah.
like, damn, this lady's off the rails.
She is. 'Cause David's trying to plead like, hey, we didn't get in your way when you were doing what you
Exactly.
wanted to do.
And he's like, we just want to leave or whatever.
Right.
And then that's when she basically snaps, right? And she's like, no, give us the boy! Sacrifice the boy!
They're all like crowded around them.
Mhm.
She says to kill the boy.
She does. And they try to grab him, and it doesn't work because Ollie basically, Ollie shoots Carmody in the gut.
Yeah, because she keeps like yelling, like, kill him, kill him.
Mhm.
Yeah. And my boy Ollie coming in clutch, bro.
Shoots Carmody in the gut.
Everybody drops their weapons real
Yeah,
quick.
everyone drops their weapons real quick, and everyone's like, "What the heck?" And then he follows the cardinal rule, right?
He
double
confirms
taps.
it. He confirms it. I respect it. It's very rare in a horror movie do we see it confirm.
So the second shot, I think, is in her forehead, right?
Yeah, it is.
So she falls to the ground, and then they're like, "All right, we're gonna leave, and nobody's gonna stop us." And so they're like, "Okay, cool, you can go. It's whatever."
And they don't even take the groceries, bro. What? They fought overnight.
No, you're right. They don't take the supplies. So then the group gets into the mist, and they start running towards David's vehicle. As they're going, we start to see people getting picked off. We see... well,
because one of them basically, like, breaks his ankle on the way out.
Yeah.
I don't know if he slips or what. So then we have a group of 3 of them that are kind of separated. And the main 5, which are, like, the 2 older...
It's Dan, the older lady, Amanda, Billy, and David.
Yeah. Ollie, I think, is one of the first ones to get picked off.
I think he's the last.
Really? Do we see the other 3 get...
I think... He's either the second or the third.
I know we're cutting in and out. Well, one of them... Oh, sorry, I don't know if you have a certain way you want to do this. I don't remember who messes up their ankle. I think he might be the first one who gets. Because I think they kind of leave him behind.
He gets attacked by the spiders, right, or something?
Yeah, he
like
does.
As soon as he falls or something, they jump on him or something like that?
One of them makes it back to the store, actually. We see him, like, looking out of the window when they drive away. And then the third one, I don't remember what happens to him.
Not Ollie?
Not Ollie. There's another third.
I don't remember. I know one of them kind of just runs off into the mist. He weaves in between the cars, and it's so funny.
I think he's the one who we see back in the store when they're leaving, next to Jim. Which Jim never got his karma. I'm upset about it.
I think it's kind of funny the way that he runs away, like he's weaving in between the cars, because like the way that the CGI monsters are there, like they would have, like he would have. You know, they would very clearly that they would have intercepted him as he was running away.
Oh yeah.
But it's I mean,
he's like bumping into everything.
Yeah. It's 2007. So
Ollie has a gun. He's the one who makes it to the car first, to David's car first.
I think he unlocks it.
Right? I don't know if he turns around or what he does, but he gets cooked.
He does.
Is this the main monster with the tentacles? I keep forgetting, or do we see that later?
No, we see it later.
It's another like huge monster.
Yeah.
Like picks him up with a claw.
Yeah, it picks it like some kind of crab claw, right? And then he gets taken away. He drops the firearm on the roof of the on the hood of the car, and then the other 5 get inside. David sees the firearm. He runs outside to grab it really quick.
Oh, because they're like ready to leave.
Yeah,
and everybody's telling him no, and he decides to reach out of the car and get the.
And he gets it just in time. One of the bug things lands on the hood of the car and like bumps or smashes its head against the windshield, cracking it. I don't remember how they get it off. I don't know.
It crawls. They get like real still, and it crawls over the top, and then it just crawls off the back.
Oh, okay.
I was pretty sure it was gonna try to go through another entry, but
yeah. So then they start driving off. They turn on all of their lights, even though they know that the monsters are attracted to lights.
Yeah. We get one last shot of the people in the store, like just staring out the window.
The first place, or they start driving. I don't remember the exact sequence of events, but there's 2 very important things that happen, other than the very, very end. The 3 important things. The first one, or one of them, is that we see a school bus that they pass, and all of the kids on the school bus were cocooned. Mm-hmm. We make it back to David's house, and we see his wife, and she has been cocooned. She's in the fucking window, right, against like the tree or something.
Yeah, just like frozen there. Yeah.
And then we get this giant, like 4-legged monster thing that has all of the tentacles from under it. Yeah. So that's the one. We're talking like it's like 100 feet tall.
They're huge. They're huge.
And like the ground basically like vibrates as it's walking by. Eventually they run out of gas, and this is where things kind of go south. This is where things go really, really, really south. Everybody, all the adults in the car, look at each other, and they see that David has the firearm. He opens up the chamber. There's only 4 bullets left, and they know essentially what has to happen.
Right, they've kind of...
Or from their perspective.
From their perspective, this is the end. There's nowhere to go. It's over.
Yeah, it's over. This is it. And so we get a shot of the outside of the vehicle.
Oh, because Amanda mentions, like, David essentially opens the chamber, and Amanda mentions, like, well, there's only 4.
Yeah. Like,
there's 5 of us, and there's only 4, and he says he'll figure it out or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's when... This happens so abruptly, because it just cuts to the outside of the vehicle. I don't know why I expected... You know, I'm kind of a happy ending kind of guy. I expect them to get out and start fighting or something.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So we get a shot of the outside of the vehicle, and the only thing we see and hear are flashes and sounds of gunshots going off.
4 gunshots.
There's 4 of them, yeah. And then we cut to the inside of the vehicle, and we see the deceased, and David, he's the only one who's not, and he's basically screaming, and he tries his best. He tries his best to manifest another bullet, but it just doesn't work.
And then he gets out of the car. He's like, he's I don't want to say pumped. Maybe that's not the proper word. He's very clearly going through it.
Yeah. He's very desperate to meet his demise,
which we know is around the corner because of what we're hearing.
Yeah. There's a bunch of noises coming from the mist, and then
we know it's about to be over.
Yeah, because
my boy David's about to be over. I was so sure of it.
So we see basically the army show up, and they have flamethrowers, and they're getting rid of the mist. They're torching everything in its way. We see the caravan of the people who made it, and the lady at the very, very beginning of the movie who went to go see who left the store to go see her kids. She makes it onto the vehicle
with her kids, and she stares down David because that was one of the people she asked.
Yeah, she stares him down.
Now that is payoff. Nobody wanted to help her, and they would have lived.
But yeah, then the movie pretty much ends.
He even says, I think his last line is like, "They're all dead for what?" Essentially.
Yeah.
And he's just left there.
Yeah, so that's the mist.
So everybody in the store survived, I guess.
Maybe, I don't know.
I was so I thought he was gonna come back to the store or something. I was so shocked that was the end.
That was it.
I said, "Brother, ain't no way."
So to give you just really quick, the way that the book ends is that they still go into the car, but they eventually make it, I think, to a bar, and the entire short story of The Mist, David writes in like a legal pad or something.
Yeah.
And he leaves it on the bar. He leaves it at the bar top, and then I think the last words are something like, "And we're just gonna keep driving until we run out of gas." And that's how it ends.
Similar, which to what we talked about recently. Like the Long Walk book ends in a similar manner, I think.
Yeah, where it's
although it's different than the movie ending, it ends in a similar, like, he just walks forever. Like Stephen King,
he sprints at the end. At the very, he runs away. But yeah,
he likes these like cliffhanger kind of like, it's not necessarily a happy ending, but it leaves it up to interpretation. This is not leaving. I guess David survived.
Yeah. So one thing that I did want to mention. Well, did you have anything else you wanted to say
about the movie in general?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a very deep commentary.
Yeah.
On people, on how people act. Yeah.
Yeah, when they're left between a hard place and a rock and a hard place.
Yeah, it's tough, man. Something else came to my mind, but I can't recall. I'm just kind of...
So one thing that I did want to mention is when Carmody meets her demise, right? Could you think about it? She says that killing the boy will bring an end to it.
Yeah.
And then after they kill Billy, they bring an end to the mist.
This is true.
Did you think about that? It's crazy, right?
That is true.
Yeah.
So is she right all along?
I don't know. I don't think so. But it's just a coincidence kind of thing. But yeah, so closing thoughts for myself. I think this is a really good movie. It's definitely on the must-watch list for people.
Yeah, I can't think of any like cons besides, like, I would understand maybe the CGI is a little outdated. Again, people were kind of arguing about. Again, there is a black and white version, which apparently the director likes more. I don't know. I haven't seen it.
Is it the same movie, just in black and white?
It's the same movie, just in black and white. Which people say just gives a different, like, kind of Twilight Zone-ish feel to it. But, yeah, overall, I think I agree with you saying that it's a must-watch. Just like I would argue something like Invasion of the Body Snatchers is a must-watch just because I can't think of a lot of movies, at least modern, that do what this movie does.
Yeah.
I think it aged very well. And I remember what I saw somebody... This is super random, but when I was reading what people had to say about it on Reddit after I finished the movie, somebody mentioned that they had read the book and, like, essentially their wife wanted to watch something else, but they convinced her to watch it and told her, like, no, the kid's gonna be okay. Like everything's gonna be fine. The kid was not okay.
Yeah, the kid wasn't okay. David kept his promise, right? He kept him from the monsters outside.
Which Stephen King, I think you might have mentioned this, that Stephen King said he liked the movie ending more than the book.
Yeah,
so
he liked the movie ending more.
Respect it.
Yeah. So that was The Mist. I know that we kind of cut this before we talked about Peter Pan Neverland Nightmare. I should have mentioned this at the beginning of the episode, but it's fine. We'll just do it right here at the end. Adam called in sick, pretty much, so that's why we're not talking about that. We're talking about The Mist instead. But yeah, so for sure next time we'll talk about Peter Pan Neverland Nightmare.
Yeah.
Nightmare Land, whatever.
And get ready for December. We're doing Five Nights at Freddy's too.
Oh my god. Oh, please no. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, do all the algorithm stuff. We'll really appreciate it. But until then, y'all have a nice day.